Welcome to Digital Cortex, the Christmas special. Woo! Woo! Get the applause. Yeah!
Oh my god! Oh my god, we made it!
We made it! It's Christmas! Oh, we've got a little festivities going here. It's been a bit here. We were trying some things with some live stream gaming to do. Like, you know, we were thinking like podcast game, and interchange this. Oh, you weren't supposed to open that yet.
Okay.
You fucked up.
Just kidding. I didn't open that. I didn't open it. I didn't open anything.
Look, I'm going to have to down that one now. Give it to me.
You have to down it?
Yeah, and I got to go get you another one. You weren't supposed to open it.
Okay.
Fuck.
Save that one then.
Fine. You can take this one. We're supposed to enjoy this. You know what?
Let's do it now. Whatever we're going to do, just do it now.
Hold on. Don't open it! Do not open it!
I'm just holding it.
Don't open it.
I'm holding it.
We're going to split this one.
Okay, let's do that.
But we're going to leave it open.
Let's do it.
Give me a second. I got to go grab a whole fucking can.
I don't... Dude, you did not tell me.
I did. I told you. Don't open this until we open the presents.
Whoa.
You said, okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was probably me not listening to anything you were saying. That's what that was. Anytime I say, yeah, that means I'm not listening. That means I don't know what the heck you just said. I have to actually respond with a sentence. If I respond with a sentence and I heard you, if I just go, yeah.
Yeah, I get it. You know what? Yeah, I'm sorry for yelling. It's not Christmas spirit.
Yeah,
too humbug there.
That was not the Christmas spirit.
Nice. That was not nice. No, it wasn't. It wasn't. But you know what? I did fucking tell you.
Dude.
You know what? It'll work out. We'll just drink a can and a half today.
Word.
We'll split that one. You'll see when.
Okay.
All right. Let's do the gift exchange.
I'm
just going to do it now.
All right, let's do it now. Here.
Or do you want to?
Let's do a shot.
Let's wait. Okay.
Let's do a shot.
I received this as a gift. It is the Belvini double wood, age 12 years. Pretty good. I've already had it. Very fancy looking packaging and bottle and the whole
nice.
9 yards on things. And I love that sound. Let me do it again. It's fucking gorgeous.
It's got good suction. Sherry oak is what it says.
You can taste it too. We'll just do up to cheekbone on these. Give it like a half a shot.
That might be a regular shot.
I don't know. I feel like because it's so thin in the neck area of these shot glasses.
It'd be interesting to test a regular shot poured in.
Oh, I think I got some confetti in mine.
We should probably do that one day.
Got it out though. Okay.
Grab a shot, pour a real shot, put it in here, and see where it goes.
See where it goes. Yeah, like do the actual measurement.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's good.
Scotch whiskey.
Scotch and whiskey?
No, it's Scotch whiskey.
That's
single malt Scotch whiskey.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's so interesting.
From Scotland.
The flavors just keep coming. Like you get a first initial flavor, and then you get another flavor.
We can revisit it.
And then you get this aftertaste flavor.
Yeah. I enjoy it. I think it's good.
No, it's good. It's good. That's what I'm saying. It has so much body to it, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, where does it say? The Belvini Distillery Company, Belvini Maltines, Dufftown, Banffshire, Scotland.
Banffshire.
Further maturation in Europe, oak sherry casks increase complexity, bringing fruity, honeyed depths to the resulting single malt. Many years of maturation exclusively in traditional whiskey oak casks mellows the maturing spirit and imparts gentle, warming layers of vanilla spiciness.
Layers. See?
Layers.
That's the word I was looking for.
Layers.
There's layers to this.
It's
12 years. Aged 12 years. Just
like
imagine.
ogres.
This was made 12 years ago.
Oh, no. Yeah. My coworker who gifted this to me, and thank you if he's watching, because I really enjoyed it. He was telling me he had his father had gotten this one, but he got the 20-year aged one. So
20.
And that was 20 years ago that he got it. So
it's 40 years old now?
If they still have it, I don't know if they do.
That'd be interesting to save it.
I mean, yeah. All right. You want to do the gift exchange? Let's do this.
I'll open mine first.
Okay. Yours, like, I didn't go all crazy, but I thought, like, oh, this is cool. And I bought one for me and I bought one for you.
Nice.
And that's why I didn't want you to open the cans yet.
Now it has to go with the can. I see. Haha.
Do you know what this is?
It looks like it takes the top off.
So the idea is that instead of popping a can, you can pull the top off of it and you can enjoy the beer
like a cup.
As a cup, like if it was from a tap or something, you know?
Interesting.
That's the idea. So let's give it a whirl. Let's pop these tops.
You got the
No, there's a specific way you have to do it.
I'm looking at this. This is step-by-step instructions, dude. Align with can tab with opening and place DT on can, twist can counterclockwise to lock tab.
I'm just gonna
squeeze
adjust my mic
handles
here.
and grip bottom of the can where it is most firm.
Yeah, so that's the big
Don't
thing.
grab in
it's
the
like
middle.
You don't want to grab here.
Grab here.
You want to grab at the bottom. So you want to hold it like this when you do it.
Rotate can counterclockwise for at least 360 degrees until can top stops rotating. So it's going to tell you when to stop.
Yeah, you'll feel it.
Release handles and pull DT off can. If the lid isn't easily removed, repeat steps 2 and 3. Don't remove lid from can with fingers. Yee. It's going to be sharp.
Yeah, but it's supposed to have like a magnet on it to grab it anyway.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, so you just pull it right off.
Okay. All right. Align it with the tab.
And then you go
like this.
counterclockwise. So you see the tab in the top there in that
Is
opening?
it this way or this? Oh, it has to be
you're going
this
to
way.
go counterclockwise first.
Okay,
and
so
before
put that,
squeezing.
and then
Now twist it counterclockwise so it locks. And you'll see the tab lock in there. Did you see it lock in there?
oh, do I keep turning it or just? I kept turning it around. I thought it was going to stop me. Oh, how far do I turn? Just sideways?
It says just enough to like lock the tab.
Yeah, the tab's all the way touching.
Okay. Yeah, that's where it's supposed to be.
Okay. And
So
now
once you do that,
squeeze.
now you squeeze.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, just hold it. Hold it squeezed and then hold the bottom. And then you want to continue to go counterclockwise.
Okay, I can feel it.
360 rotation.
I can feel the blade in here cutting it.
And you'll feel it when it's completely stopped.
Yeah, it went all the way around. I could feel it.
All right. And then at that point, you can
Release the handles.
release and pull off.
Kabam.
Yeah, look at that.
Whoa, I like
Right?
it.
And
Dude,
then so
it's
look
like
at
a little
that.
cup.
Exactly. And so the idea too is that you can now make cocktails or something within.
And this is a good can.
Yeah. And it leaves no residue or anything behind. So you're not going to be drinking like metal
And this
bits
is
and
a
shit.
good cider too.
There you go. We're drinking some
I like this thing, dude.
Excelsior Imperial apples from Heirloom hard cider.
It's like make your can classy thing, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I was like, oh, you know what?
I'm gonna start using this, dude. Wherever I go, I'm just gonna start sawing people's tops off, dude, and giving them back the can. Especially when it's a can like this. So you can feel it cutting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pop.
Yep. I think that's it.
Yeah. Kaboom.
Boom. Shakalaka. And there we go. Cheers. Now we can pour that one in here.
Yeah.
And so instead of like, I guess the air of this popping, you're left with just your pure beverage. And you can use it on all sorts of cans like sodas and beer and anything like that. Now, I wish there was
a good can to keep though. I mean,
a better way to show on camera. Maybe I can get real close. And you see how that one is.
The edge, the top taken off.
I don't know. Maybe we could still pop that one off too, without, even though it's been
I think
opened.
you can. I don't think it's a problem.
And then I guess you just, well, oh gosh, should have had like a towel or something.
I just peeled it off with my fingers. I don't know.
Oh yeah,
It's not sharp.
it's just locked. It's getting all wet. Sorry, I'm messing it all up. I'm sure it rinses off fine.
Yeah.
It just looks like plastic. And
Yeah, I don't think it's going to do anything.
I don't know. It might. I don't know.
Yeah, see, it's cutting it.
No, I don't think it's doing as much because the thing's moving. Oh. Yeah, it definitely does not need to be open first. No.
Yeah, take it out. Just pull it from the tab. Yeah, you got it.
We're not drinking out of that one. That's pretty cool though. A little sticky now, but it was not, the most expensive, extravagant, but I just thought it was a pretty cool thing.
Oh, it's nice, man.
Yeah.
It's nifty. I would call it nifty.
Well, that's yours, bro.
Thank you, sir. I like it.
Rinse it before you take it home.
The Batman. I'll call it the Batman.
You know what we should have done actually was drink from an uncut one and a cut one to see if there really is a taste difference, because that's one of the things I think they sell about it is that
it aerates it.
Yeah, it's just a different feel of it, like
I think it's a different feel from drinking from the can. It's open.
Pretty cool.
I think oxygen does help. But all right, my gift now. It's
pretty big.
When I bought it, I didn't think we were gonna be opening it on here. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of a cool gift. I thought you could use something like this. So
Waka waka. Drop that down there for now. I've got the scissors.
It's sealed from Amazon.
All right. I was thinking about. I think our other one just broke. So that's perfect.
Yeah, it's more of like a for both of you guys kind of thing too.
Oh, it's curved too.
So it has an
nice
extra feature of a longer handle, so you could do like your back.
Yeah,
it's detachable. You could take it off if you're just using it on a muscle in your.
No, that looks cool for sure.
But then it's got the reach. It's the Renfo reach. But these things are game changers, man. I've had sore muscles and stuff like that. Even when you your muscles tight, you might figure out you have a knot. You start massaging it with a massage gun. You're like, oh, it hurts right here in this one particular spot. It's because I have a knot right there. So then you just keep it on your hamstring or wherever it's bothering you, and then just. And then after a while, you're like, oh shit, I don't feel anything now.
Oh, yeah, and it's got all of the little different attachments.
Yeah, so you got different things for different...
I really like these hammer ones.
Yeah, just to give it like
I see what you mean. This whole thing is
detachable.
An extender. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so you can
never
make
had one
it...
like that. They're usually just this short version.
Yeah, usually you get that, but this is the reach for the back. So you could just massage your own back, you know, like...
Yeah, that would be cool.
Throw on the attachment. Boom.
Boom.
And then you got the there you go.
Arm in there. Woo! It just goes.
Dude, that thing just whoa. You can hear it.
What is that? 01. That's USB-C. I like that. There's a really nice display back here too. You can see where it's going.
It's got big numbers. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Let me get back there.
And that is the reach.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, shout out to Renfo.
Nice.
Right? What is it called? Fucking what's the company? All that stress, man. All that stress on the neck.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, man. I don't think people realize how much tension you hold in your shoulders.
I like that it can go all the way down, though, without having to... I can get all the spots, and I'm not straining my arm to do it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
If you feel a spot that hurts, you have to keep hitting that spot because that's like a knot in your muscles. So like all I'm doing is just searching around for the.
Well, this has been a great Digital Cortex podcast.
You gotta take a nap, dude.
So good.
See, maybe you need. Yeah, let me check it out. I want to check the reach effect.
How do you turn it off?
Don't turn it off. Here, I'm gonna use it. Oh, okay. Oh yeah, dude,
that's good.
Oh, dude, this shoulder is fucked up, dude. I feel the tension in here. Okay.
Oh, this is dangerous. Dude. How quickly you can finish a can.
What the fuck is going on with my shoulder right there? Shit, dude. Now that I got this, I'm like, dude, when's the last time I've hit my shoulders? Usually I'm checking my legs.
All right, bro. That's all you too.
Oh, dude, I'm finding spots that are fucked up, dude. Actually, I do like the bounce on this one. I think it's better than the one I have.
I think it helps with that leverage because you're holding it at like a different. But I'm saying
point. Like the intervals of it going up and I think it's a really good pace because if you have longer intervals up and down, you're gonna get choppy, and then that's when it's bouncing off of your back. Mm-hmm. This doesn't do that at all. It doesn't bounce off your back because I have the other one. It'll go, poof, it'll pop up.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Yeah, this is not going fast enough, or it's not going at a good rhythm.
Renfo, is that what it's called?
Yeah, Renfo. Fo. Reach.
Goes up to, I think it's at 2,800 RPM.
Oh, dude, 28, dude. Get 28. Oh my God, get 28. Whatever company you want, but Renfo did it, dude.
Oh, okay. So that last level is an auto level.
Where it kind of detects what it needs or what?
I guess so.
Oh, dude.
Let me see what the back says.
Dude, my shoulders are fucked up, man. I've needed this. Shit, I should have bought myself one. God damn. God damn. This feels good, though. Okay.
Trying to see.
You just gotta hold the button and then it turns off. Dude, for being this skinny and this small of a motor, this thing goes. This thing is fucking strong as fuck.
I never noticed this. I don't think either I just threw away the pamphlets, but like they tell you what each one of these attachments should be used for.
Yeah. Yeah, it tells you specifically for what.
They say the bullet attachment is for the hands and feet. I want to try that because my hands are fucked up.
Yeah, you get soreness in your hands.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think people realize how much stress they're holding on in their body, and maybe that is part of the reason why you don't feel good. You know, this built up of stress on your body because you're hitting muscles and you're like, oh shit, what am I holding on to? Right? That's got to affect your mood, right? If you're not feeling 100%, I think you just hold it and it turns on. Because that's how it turns it off. Yeah, in order to turn off, you got to push and hold that.
Oh, yeah.
It's hitting trigger points, dude.
Ooh, that might be too powerful for my hands, though.
Yeah, dude, just go on 0, man. You can hear it, too. It makes a gnarly sound, huh? It sounds way louder in the headphones than it actually does in person.
Oh, is it coming through on your headphones like that?
Yeah.
My bad. Ooh, though. Let me just go on 1 and see what that feels like.
Yeah, go up and down the fingers, dude. You got all kinds of different muscles that actually connect your finger. Like your fingers have so many ligaments and muscles.
Oh, that's where I needed it right there.
Wherever you find like the most like sensitive part, that's what you got to hit, dude. Yeah, my thumb is like aching for it, dude. Now that you have it turned on,
Yeah.
dude.
Look at that pinky move. Jesus.
I got to try it after you now because try both hands. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I need to even it out. Oh. Ooh, that's a good spot. That's a good spot.
That's the spot that needed attention.
Yeah.
We're going to spend the rest of the show
We're gonna
just
spend the whole show
using every single attachment until we are perfectly
That was a good gift, man.
relaxed.
That was a good gift. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I was like, I was going to get some tech, something cool, something like I usually do. And I usually find cool stuff, cool toys, cool gadgets. But then I was like, why not just get a massager, dude? Massagers are underrated, man. People need... You need that attention. You know, like...
Oh, it feels so good.
Oh, yeah. Feel it.
That was nice.
You know what? I need stronger. Oh, there we go. 3. 1 wasn't doing it, man.
It's so cool to see the inside of this can like that.
But yeah, I feel it on the different points on the finger.
I'm going to drink all my beverages this way now.
I told you, dude. I'm going to just go around and cut people's cans.
Yeah.
As soon as they put it
you
down.
give them something, you just cut their cans off. Look, though, what I notice is if you don't
Get a good cut.
If you open it beforehand, then it's, you see it
jagged.
Sliced it.
Yeah. You got to watch out for that.
Yeah. So don't open it.
Left hand, not
until
too bad.
you cut it.
Left hand didn't need real much attention. This one I can feel though.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what. Yeah,
I bet that's gonna feel real good, like in between gaming sessions and shit.
I bet you're gonna say in between my legs.
Not for real, dude. Because last time we were playing the games, like
your thumb
get
started.
in there.
Yeah.
My hands. It's because work. I work with intricate items and electronics.
I'm
and
typing
stuff,
all fucking day too.
Mm-hmm.
Mouse, all that shit, grabbing onto it.
Arthritis is real.
The struggle is real.
It is, Like,
you got to take care of your
our generation
extremities.
grew up with the computer,
with tech,
with it. So this was before they started getting
when you were a
ergonomic
kid.
with it.
When you were a kid, it was still in its infancy.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We grew up with the computer. We didn't grow up with a computer. We grew up while the computers grew.
And then everyone went to home computers. Eventually, we all had home. Remember, that was a big deal, home computer?
Dude, do you remember going to the store and getting, you had to buy the internet in the shopping store? You'd buy AOL discs.
Or they would send it to you in the mail. Yeah.
Yeah.
They send you the disc.
You would just go get the little free trials and stuff.
I had a floppy disk from back in the days, dude.
I remember used to playing Oregon Trail on floppy disk.
I know.
You remember the big floppy disks? like the bigger ones, like they ended up with the smaller size, the kind of like coaster size. But before that, they had the larger.
Dude, I don't think I ever used those.
You don't remember those ones?
I don't think I did. The ones that we had in our computer class, because we had Apple computers. When Apple started, they donated a bunch of computers to schools.
Yeah, in California, they actually had a program all the way up through when I was in high school, the education program. So there was a specific type of iMac. And you look at this up, they look totally different. They're bigger.
Yeah.
They were called eMacs, and they were only made for education. And
I think that's what we were using.
Yeah, they were big. They were white.
Yeah. And they had floppy disks.
Yeah.
They had floppy disk games.
By the time I was in high school, they were in they had CD drives built in. They were around the generation of those like the candy looking iMacs that came out with the different.
That's what you guys had?
Yeah, when I was in freshman in high school, they had already had those going. They had the eMacs going before they went from like they still had the CRT screens in them.
Yeah,
they were nicer, but yeah, all of the components, or maybe they weren't CRT. No, I think they were.
My 6th grade, we had a computer lab time, and we all got hyped, dude. We're like, yeah, fucking computer time, dude. We would get all excited, dude, and we'd all go, and then they would open up the little flip thing for the floppy disk, and we're like, yeah, and then we all pick our game, and then we put the game into the Apple computer, and then we played.
But you got like 7 years on me, right?
Yeah, I got some time. I got more time. So, dude, that was pretty advanced technology for like
for sure. Yeah.
When we were using.
I think by the time I was in 4th or 5th grade, I remember they had a specific classroom dedicated for computers in my elementary school, and they were Windows based. And I remember we would play with the magnets around them.
Oh, they already had moved to Windows.
Yeah.
See,
and
Apple,
they were towers.
Apple had the market for a while because they donated all those computers,
and that's what they ended up doing. So Apple had an education program in California.
Yeah,
I don't think they put it in other states, but they had it in California. And so what they would do is they would give the schools like massive discounts, pretty much giving away the shit.
Yeah.
And so all the teachers had Apple laptops. They had an iMac, the colorful little ones, the ones you can grab with the handles.
Yeah, that was big.
The jelly bean ones.
Yeah, those are huge.
Because this was in 2000. I went to high school between 2006 and 9. No, 2005 and 9. I think it was. I graduated 09.
Yeah.
So whatever the math is on that shit. So they had one in every classroom, and then they had the computer lab filled with the eMacs. And these were like larger versions of those. Like I got to show it to you, and I'll put the image up so people can
just
see
put it up. Yeah, just put it up when.
Later. We'll put it up on there, but at least you'll be able to see.
I remember
it
the ones with the handle. It was in Zoolander. Remember, he was trying to break into the computer, and it was like a blue or something.
This is what the eMacs looked like.
Okay.
They kind of look like the iMacs, but compared to an iMac, they were definitely a big size difference, a notable size difference. So here they are next to each other, and I'll get these images up there too, so that they can see it on the podcast video. But we had these, and we had a couple of different computer rooms and in my high school.
I got them.
I keep glimpsing at what's going on in that. But yeah, so we had a couple of different computer labs in my high school, and so they had the eMacs and the iMacs.
Did you guys have anything like in 3rd, 4th grade, 5th grade,
with
grade?
Apple based? If we did, it was like command based, because I do remember when I was in 3rd grade, we had just the green and black screen based computers where you throw the floppy disk in. Everything.
By then, it was already PC.
When I went to elementary school in a different city in 4th through 6th grade, we had PCs.
Yeah.
And I remember because there was one kid, he was like gifted or on the spectrum or something. And so he had different privileges, and he installed StarCraft on a PC, and he was allowed to play StarCraft during class time. And that's all that kid did was play StarCraft all day. And I kept thinking, like, why the fuck does he get to play StarCraft? And I want to play video games. But yeah, the reason Apple did this, and it totally worked, was because by the time you go into college, a lot of people didn't have computers in their home, and if they did, they had one.
Yeah.
And laptops weren't as common.
No, they were bulky and they were big and they were expensive.
They were business oriented, really.
Yeah.
Apple started coming out with their
suitcase. Remember,
Apple
they had like
books.
suitcase laptops.
What do they call them? iBooks,
something like that.
iBooks, I think they were.
Yeah.
But you kids didn't have them.
No, that was like business.
This was a little bit before. Eventually, they came out with the white ones, and then as you got older, I grew up in a pretty decent, well-off neighborhood, so there were like I didn't have those privileges, but a lot of the kids did have like money in the family. So by the time they were in junior or even sophomore in high school, they all had their own personal laptop computers, and they were the MacBooks. Like the OG MacBooks, like the white MacBooks.
Yeah.
And those are the ones that the teachers had too. So everything that we did computer based in school was on a Mac. And so you grew up using a Mac. By the time you were able to use a computer in your house, it was Windows, and you're more familiar with Mac than you were with.
Because that's what you've been using.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so Apple did that targeted on purpose, because by the time our generation was in college, the thing we were used to was Mac OS operating system. So, I mean, that was kind of redundant. But yeah, we were used to Mac OS. So that was the first thing that I decided I needed to get. Like, I need to get a Mac. I can't go to college without a Mac.
I didn't grow up so much on, other than the Apple games that I played when like in 6th grade. Other than that, we were all PC eventually. And, different computer gateway and all that shit that was out. But, and Dell. But when I finally learned the Apple software or the Apple kind of based programs that they have, when I got the laptop, I was like, oh, I can kind of see how a lot of things haven't changed with the way that the system works. A lot of it's still drag and drop. Like some stuff you can't do other than drag and drop.
And now I get frustrated.
Because you're mixing the PC stuff with the Apple.
Yeah, so there's stuff on the Mac that I'm like, why can't you do this? I could do it so much easier on a PC.
Yeah.
And then vice versa. There's stuff on a PC. I'm like, if only I could do this on the Mac.
Yeah, because I try to do. It's funny because I'll try and do certain things on the MacBook Pro that I have, and I'm like, I know how to do it on PC, but I'm trying to figure out how to do it on Apple because it's different. They have different ways, but like I can see how I can kind of feel how the original layout is still there. Like it's kind of a testament to them of being so different. Is they haven't, like, if you compare the first Microsoft Office to now, there is night and day. It's not even the same thing, right? I mean, it's sort of similar, but it's so definitely different. And I feel like if I would go back and look at the original Apple with the little Apple symbol in the corner, you still have that. Like, you still have some of those basic headers, like file and like, what you're trying to do, like on the bottom line. Like, I can see the updates, but I can still see the legacy software kind of just hanging out.
That's the same thing Microsoft has been dealing with too for different like UI type things, like the start menu, for example.
They're trying to keep that now.
Well, yeah, but they tried to get rid of it because it was like an old idea of something.
But then they realized that people like it. They want something familiar.
People got pissed off because, like, you remember when they went to Windows 8 and they kind of dissolved the start menu.
Yeah, or Windows XP. Dude, Windows XP was a huge failure too. But no. And the Apple
And then Apple's always had the bars at the top.
They've been steady with their software. You go there, you know what you're getting. You're getting the same thing that you've been using for the last 10, 15 years.
And they do it on purpose, you know.
It builds a following. It builds a rapport. It builds a culture around Apple products. Everything that you use is going to be similar, and you're going to know how to use it.
And it goes back to like I said, when they threw all that product into the schools. Every school in the fucking state pretty much had an Apple.
You built a fan base from the bottom all the way up, and then their kids are going to use the same products as you, and then so on and so forth.
And it's exactly what they're doing with the iPhones.
The iPhone is really similar to the old iPhones. The way that the layout, the screen, they never change. Everybody's tried to imitate a lot of the icons that Apple originally, that was their thing. Remember the icon?
I mean, look at smartphones back in the day before iPhone. Like you're looking at the Palm Pilot,
they didn't know what
you're
they were
looking
doing.
at the BlackBerry. There was a certain way that they navigated it. And when Google was originally making their first phone with Android worked kind of like in that same file system way of like a BlackBerry. It was more similar to a BlackBerry or a Palm Pilot than it was anything else.
Yeah.
But then Apple came out with the Touch, and they came out with a whole different way of using it, you know, the UI and everything, that Google had to like stopped and was like, okay, well, we need to quickly do this. And that's why Android is what it is today. If it wasn't for Apple coming out with the iPhone, we would have a totally different way of the way we used phones today. It's one of the reasons that most Android phones, there wasn't an Android phone in the market that didn't have a keyboard for so long.
Yeah. And then it gave a name too to the other operating system, Android. Like there was so many different names of software. Like once they came out with Android, it was like, that's the name. That's the thing that's sticking. Like people like that because they knew Apple was kind of ahead early and they still, I think they still outsell Android.
And the thing is that Apple went through it in a different way. Well, they didn't say like we're creating a phone. They said we have a new iPod. And everybody had already loved the iPods. Everyone had a different iPod. They had the iPod Shuffles, you had the iPod Nanos, the Minis, the video, the picture. You know, the evolution of the iPods was super popular, and they were enough to put it in everybody's pocket. So when they came out with iPhone, it was more like we have an iPod, and now we have taken our iPod and we've added the ability for email, and we've added the ability for web, and we've added the ability for phone calls, and we call it iPhone. But it essentially, that first introduction was, this is iPod with more.
With calling. They were kind of already
so
going
they didn't like say this is a whole different product line away from the iPod. It was like, this is iPod evolution.
Remember those iPods that looked like a phone?
The iPod Touch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was like, it was
that
already
whole design language. They kept it.
Yeah, they were already had the idea for the phone, and they were just trying to like still give you an iPod Touch, but you're like, why not just get the phone? You know, at that point. So it never really.
And you would see more of like the iPod Touch being used for, you know, what it was like given to children and stuff. Yeah. And I had a friend who he didn't have his first phone until he was, I want to say, 18 years old.
That was normal.
His family never bought him a phone, and he couldn't afford a phone. He was working a job. Actually, you know, Eddie. Yeah. He's been on the podcast once or twice. So he, I remember going with him for the first time he was going to get a phone. And before that, he had always used a free texting app and an iPod Touch. And so he couldn't text or do anything unless he was
on the Wi-Fi. Yeah.
So I went with him to get his first phone. And the phone that he wanted at the time was a Windows phone. Oh,
so he was going to go away from Apple altogether.
Because there was a point where, you know, it wasn't just Android and Apple.
No, the Windows Phone was cool.
There was Windows Phone. There was still BlackBerry was still decent at the time.
People preferred BlackBerry. Dude.
Palm had their Palm Touch, Palm Pre and the
Nokia.
What did they call it? Damn, what was that? WebOS. WebOS was the operating system. Nokia, they had their own operating system.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called, but it was hard to compete.
Motorola was big too.
Mm-hmm.
The Razors were a big hit.
So he was going to AT&T to get the phone, and I went with him. I was like, yeah, I'll go with you. So I went with him. We went to AT&T, and he was getting a phone, and they wanted to say, well, I mean, you don't have any credit or anything, so it's going to be like $500 down as a deposit.
Yeah.
So he had a $500 deposit that he would get back in a year.
Yes.
And the phone cost $500 to begin with.
So he had to pay $1,000 if he wanted that phone.
Well, they were going to subsidize like part of the phone anyway. Like there was payments. A discount for getting a new line and all that. One of those. So, but at the same time, he's still ending up paying like $600 or $700 out of pocket to get this phone. Yeah. And he was about to drop all that money down just because he didn't have the credit. And I was like, I didn't know much more about it at the time because I'm only a couple of years older than him anyway. But I was thinking about it. I was like, well, is there a way to get like a cosigner? Can I cosign for him? Because I have credit.
Yeah.
I had already had my own phone plan and 1 or 2 credit cards at the time, and I was building credit.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah. Well, apparently you don't. You can't on a cell phone. So they did actually just opened up the line under my name.
Oh.
And it was for him. So I remember he would call me and be like, hey, what's the last 4 digits of your social? I need to call AT&T.
He was still on there for a while.
Yeah, and it was cool. I was like, whatever. That's fine. It's my line, whatever.
Yeah.
And so for the longest time, he had that line, AT&T, under my name. And I remember there was a new phone coming out, and back then phones were exclusive. You couldn't just get a phone like you can today on any network. Like this phone came out, it was an AT&T exclusive. Nobody else had it.
There was a lot of exclusive.
iPhone was like that for a long time.
Yeah. Verizon didn't have iPhones for a long time until they finally...
And it was a big change because the technology was different from AT&T GSM to CDMA on Verizon.
Yeah.
So having a CDMA iPhone was like this big deal. But I remember I wanted a new phone and I was going to switch to AT&T, and I was like, well, I already have an account at AT&T.
Yeah, all you need is add a line.
So I was like, I called him up and I was like, hey, I'm trying to get this phone. He's like, okay. Do you mind if I add myself on my account?
Yeah.
And he was like, sure. So for years, we shared a phone account. Years. By the time he got married, his wife joined our phone account.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember there was a certain point where I was like, she was like, you know what? We came to like an agreement. It's like, you know what? We're going to dissolve this because
doesn't make any sense anymore.
You guys are married. We're adults. Get your own lines. I'm going to get my own line somewhere else. And I took my phone out and...
What did your line? You kept your phone number?
I can't recall if he's ever dissolved it or not. I think he did eventually. I don't think we have the AT&T account anymore.
Well,
but
I mean, it's your name, so you could just call them.
I could.
I'd be like, do I still have an account with you guys?
And I remember we created the pins as like our birthdays combined. Like we were all in on it.
You guys were married.
Yeah, it'd be like, I didn't plan on upgrading my phone. He's like, can I take your upgrade? I was like, go for it. Don't forget, you can top yourself off here, man. That's all you.
Oh, okay, I'll pour it in.
Yeah, that's what I did already. I'm almost done with this can too.
Yeah.
It's interesting that there's a thin layer of plastic in these cans.
Yeah, which I never knew until a couple years ago. I always like, okay, it's aluminum. That's good. No, they still put plastic inside, so it doesn't.
Thin layer.
So it doesn't rust.
Well, actually, it's more than that. It's taste.
Yeah, it preserves the taste too.
It preserves the taste better than it would, because if it was just straight aluminum,
you'll get an aluminum taste.
You get a bit of metallic taste, just a little bit, but it's enough for people to be like, it's off compared to what you would get.
That's probably why they always had it in bottles.
Glass, glass, you wouldn't get a taste in glass.
And it was glass, and it was already, you didn't need to put any kind of plastic covering inside. But yeah, I mean, I imagine if it was just Coca-Cola and an aluminum can, it would probably eat.
And before they did aluminum, I think it was tin. Yeah, everything was in tin.
Yeah, I think everything was in it, and I don't think you need plastic if it's in tin. You can't
recycle tin, I think.
You can't?
No, because like they still do tin for
I thought you can melt it down,
canned foods and stuff, but they don't recycle them the same way you can aluminum because it's not as malleable.
Oh, I always wondered that.
You can't throw like canned products into the recycling bin. I guess like those have to go in the trash.
No, you can throw cans.
I don't think you can throw tin into the recycling bin.
You can throw any can in the bin. It just says cans, glass. Now, if we'll actually recycle it and use it, that's a whole nother story.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're right. It can be recycled, but I don't know if like the city lets you do it.
Well, a lot of these cities,
I think you have to take it somewhere.
A lot of these cities don't even recycle their own recycle. They ship it off.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's no recycling plants in a lot of these cities. I know I've driven
by the waste management.
It's caused problems with some communities, some cities where they'll stop picking it up because they're in a dispute or something's going on with the process. Like they're not able to get they ship it out to, I want to say they ship it out to California and then it goes to China on a shipping container. So there was at one point China stopped taking so much recycle and they're like, nah. So then they might not tell you, but they're just taking the recycle and dumping it into the fucking dump with all the trash. So they're not even recycling it sometimes.
Oh shit, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it depends on your city or your community or what agreement they have. If things change and they can't take it to a recycling plant, they'll just fucking dump it in the dump. And then the whole other issue with recycling too is you can't keep recycling. How many times are you going to recycle something? Yeah, that's true. It can only go so much. A lot of products are only one time. Like honestly, we should have never moved away from glass. That's sustainable and reusable. And countries like Germany, France, like Mexico, they still use bottles.
I'm going to eat this Rice Krispie.
They still buy a bottle of glass water. They buy it in packs of 6. And you have a glass of water. You know how hard it is to find a glass? The Mountain View or Mountain Valley, whatever the fuck that company is, that green bottle, that's water. But that's hard to find. A lot of places don't have it, and they don't have it in bulk. You can't buy a case of it, so you're going to buy 1 or 2 at a time. They don't have it at Sam's. I know that. I don't know about Costco. I haven't checked. But, yeah, I'm trying to get away from buying so much plastic, but it's hard, dude. And it's so funny because where I work at, they supposedly ban plastic. So all of our vending machines are fucking cans, or that's it.
Really?
Yeah, you can't get a bottle of soda anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and did the same thing with our cafeteria. There's no bottles. So everything is a fucking can. There's a can of soda. There's a can of water. There's cans of water that are tall. And then there's the Dasani little regular size cans. But it's so stupid. It's so dumb because they still have plastic forks and plastic knives and plastic spoons. And most of the containers, they stop using the styrofoam containers for the food. You know how usually you have the 2 little clips on the styrofoam that you clip in and you close the lid, but they went away from that with the folding cardboard looking ones. You know what? Honestly, though, styrofoam is shitty for the environment as well. It is.
Because you can't do anything with it once it's done.
The ones they're using look like paper, but the inside is plastic. You can even
Really?
you can feel the inside of it.
Why not just use the paper ones?
Because it'll seep through. Like paper actually like
does it soak and everything?
Yeah, like you get a pizza box and it's already
you
like
can't recycle
warping.
Those.
Yeah, pizza boxes you can't recycle.
You can't get the grease out.
Yeah, so
that's just trash anyway. Dude, I was just watching this movie with Crystal the other day. What was it called? Jesus, I don't remember the name, but it had Ethan Hawke. It had Julia Roberts.
Oh, you're talking about the new one, the world is ending bullshit thing. I haven't seen it, but It was
pretty good.
Was it? You liked it? Because I've heard bad. I've heard bad reviews and it was horrible. Like
it's definitely different because the way that they do camera angles and things in it is so interesting to me.
Really?
I guess from like a cinematic viewpoint.
Okay.
It's definitely
I haven't heard that. I haven't heard that angle on it, but I just heard the story was clunky and a little bit of like, like hard to believe stuff was happening. I don't know. I haven't seen it.
There was a lot of points where Crystal was like, well, what would you do in that situation? I'm like, look, I already know that like something is fucking off.
I'm killing everybody.
Yeah. So do you want me to ruin any of it for you?
No. But I'm just saying.
Because I feel like I can't talk about the movie without.
It's pretty new, so
what it is.
Let's wait till next week. We'll
watch it and then we can discuss it.
Yeah, we'll go over
I'll rewatch it. It took us fresh. We had to watch it in like 3 sittings because we kept getting interrupted by other things, Yeah.
So it'd be good to watch it longer altogether so you can get the tone of the movie. Sometimes you got to be from the start to the finish, and so you can feel the tone changing up and down, like fast, slow, sad, happy, like so you can get all of those to feel the whole movie. I feel like I hate pausing movies, like especially if it's a new one I haven't seen. Like I want to start the movie over. I started watching Gray Man with Ryan Gosling and Chris Evans. He's a CIA agent and he's basically like a fucking ghost. And then they end up turning on him and trying to kill him. And that's all I know so far.
I don't know that.
It's on Netflix. It's really good. It's good action. Ryan Gosling, fucking awesome. It's kind of gives you a John Wick feel, about the movie with the angles and the guns and the shooting and the action. But it's also Ryan Gosling, so he's not trying to be Keanu Reeves. So he does a good job. Like he's good at making. He has his own characters, And he has his kind of Ryan Gosling like banter that he kind of does when he talks to somebody. Like,
right.
Did you ever see him in that Russell Crowe movie with? It was like set in the 70s.
Probably
It's
not.
a comedy. It's like a detective comedy. Put in, yeah, you know what to put in.
Yeah, we'll search Ryan Gosling movies. 70s comedies.
Ryan Gosling.
How long ago did it come out?
Maybe 2016, 17, maybe 18. I don't know.
Oh, is it the Nice Guys?
Yes.
Yes, I did see that. It was a good one.
Yeah. Remember that? Like he's good at comedy. Like he has comedic moments and comedic timing.
Yeah.
And even Russell Crowe, he's not a funny guy, but like
he does well.
He did good.
Yeah.
I mean, he's bigger than you're remembering him from like 300 and
oh yeah.
I mean not 300 Gladiator.
You look at that guy and you're like, what the fuck?
He doesn't care, dude. Yeah. All of his new movies, he does not care.
It worked out for what was he in recently? That the Marvel one, right?
He was Superman's dad.
He was. Jesus, what was it?
With Henry Cavill, whatever you want to however you want to say it, but he did play Superman's dad.
Wait, they're doing a Gladiator 2?
I did not know about that. I heard they were
2024.
I heard they were doing another 300.
Ridley Scott directing.
Ooh, he did the first one, so.
Gladiator 2.
What is he now? Is he dead? Did they move on? Or is he like a king?
I don't know, but Russell Crowe's in it still.
He's in it?
It says he's a cast
Dude,
member.
maybe he buffed up, man. Maybe he's...
You got Russell Crowe, Denzel.
Denzel? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting out with some hitters.
Yeah. Pedro Pascal's going to be in it too.
Of course, he's in everything.
He's been very popular lately.
He's in everything, dude. Yeah. What was the other movie I heard that he was in that people were like, it's Pedro Pascal? Oh, he's going to be Mr. Fantastic. He's going to be in the Fantastic Four.
I'm sorry, I'm still thinking about the Russell Crowe. Zeus. He plays Zeus. That's right.
Zeus and
Thor. It was the latest Thor Love and Thunder.
Yeah. And then he was also Superman's dad.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Remember Henry Cavill? And they were on the fucking planet, and then they show you the backstory of them sending fucking Superman.
I wonder if they planned on him doing more. Like his own story of that or something, you know?
That would be cool, man. That planet is crazy. Like Krypton. The planet Krypton, like, I feel like there's more stories there, like, because if you think about it, they sent Superman to Earth, but other families
I guess they did send him.
They picked his destination.
They did
looked
pick his
for
destination.
a planet.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of his cousin.
But
the alcohol is starting to get to me. I'm starting to feel it, which means we should probably take another shot soon.
I like that idea. But that would be interesting because other families might have sent their kids to another planet. Like, that would be a cool story, right?
That would have, but I don't think that happened in all the story arcs I know.
But I'm saying they could create that, because if they had time to send their kid, there would be other people.
Well, the thing is that
they were well off and they were rich. Yeah.
It wasn't really that they were rich. It was one, that he was a scientist, and two, they kind of made it like illegal to do that, so not everyone was able to do it, and three, it was a political propaganda. Like, there was people saying the Earth's going to explode. We're scientists. We could see our planet is going. We're going to lose Krypton. Yeah. You know, and then other people were like, "You guys are fucking."
Yeah, I remember. Remember, they were going back and forth, and then he was like, "You got to go. No, you got to go now."
Yeah.
Remember, he was like, "It's going to explode." He already knew, and he was, but the political part of it was getting in the way, and I feel like that's also something that could happen to us. Like, while people are bickering back and forth about what's going to happen, like, something is going to happen, you know, and we can't even agree on, like,
well, honestly, there were certain aspects of this, going back to that film, the one about the world ending. I can't recall the actual fucking title, but
just look it up. Just look it up, Sandy.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's got to be her most recent. Not Sandra Bullock. Julia
Roberts.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck I said Sandra. I seen all the previews.
Leave the World Behind.
Yeah.
So in that movie, there are certain aspects to the disaster, because we know there's a disaster event.
Yeah.
That's pretty much given to you in the trailer.
Yeah.
So there's certain aspects of the disaster event that I can see, like, okay, if this was to happen, I can see that being a plausible thing. There are other aspects to it where I'm like, I don't think so. But definitely I could see where people are like, that's unrealistic. But yeah, like, not giving away anything, it might have been in the trailer. There's this one part where this oil rig gets like beached.
Yeah.
I just don't think that would have happened. They say like they lost navigation or something, so they beached, and it was happening in a couple of places or something like that. But regardless, there's no way that a captain of a fucking giant oil rig would see land approaching and still follow his fucking navigation, right?
But some of that on those big giant ships, it takes so long for them to churn. They might, even if he did put in churn all systems go. I don't know if they could stop if they're going a
There's
certain
got to
speed.
be a way to stop.
But they're so big. You're thinking of like a smaller.
I guess you're right. Yeah. They are pretty big. But
because you're think of a size of a battleship. I don't know if you've ever been next to a battleship, but those things are fucking huge. They're like.
But by the time you realize something is off, you got to know ahead of time. Like you've got to see land approaching. You're like, why are we going here? This doesn't make any sense. Call the Coast Guard. The Coast Guard is probably saying like, yeah, we see you not in the right spot physically. Maybe our system doesn't, but we do.
They should get some kind of alert.
Somebody should have done something.
There should be somebody watching. Like, why are you getting so close? You're only so many knots away. And by the time that they so in the movie, and this isn't that big of a spoiler. We're just talking about one specific scene. See, this is why you don't go.
There is a specific character who sees something and says, that looks pretty close. Oh yeah, those things are big.
There's always that guy. Yeah.
Time passes while they're enjoying their beach trip.
Yeah.
That they start to see.
Actually, it's in the previous because they're running on the beach, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So time passes and then they kind of realize, oh shit, that thing's coming here. That's impossible, but it's coming here. Okay, fucking get up and go. And they had enough time to like fucking relax. They showed the scene of them like sleeping on the beach. Like sunbathing and shit.
Dude, people are incredibly dumb.
I definitely understand reaction time and people being slower about it, but I'm thinking about the professionals who are literally captaining the ship and other people who have been at sea for X amount of thousands of hours worth of fucking or hundreds of hours worth of sea travel. You know your ocean. You should. And especially in something as big as like this ship that must be traveling across ginormous amounts of sea and different countries all the time. There's no way that you're like looking at this and being like, yeah, I'm sure we'll be fine until the last minute.
The only thing I'll say is I've seen some of the like technology that they're using on these ships, even like the lower level ones, like when you watch like the Deadliest Catch and shit where they're trying to locate the fish and everything under the sea and some of the radar. It's pretty sophisticated and it's 100% accurate. If it tells them there's fish there, they go drop a line and they fucking scoop all.
No, and I get that.
So that's why I'm saying my point is that the technology's got so good that it makes you comfortable. Like, oh.
No, and they definitely talk about that in the film as well.
If the computer's telling me that we're good, then we're good.
But someone who's a captain of a fucking oil rig.
You would think.
You would think that somebody would have been like, hey, sir, we're getting pretty close to that thing. Do you see that? And they would physically have to look.
Yeah.
You can only rely on that so much.
I think they have protocols.
Yeah, this isn't right.
I think they have protocols that they follow the systematic like sea plans or whatever you call them. I don't know, like destination plans. But they also should have navigation a manual one.
Was failing.
Yeah.
And you realize that there would be some protocol for something. And I think the right decision would not be to beach your oil rig.
Yeah, I don't know.
The right decision would be to attempt to slow down. And the amount of time, like it had to have been at least an hour of time for this from when they saw it heading straight to shore to where it actually hit shore. I imagine that it had to have been like an hour.
Yeah.
Because you see it in the distance. They do that scene. Everyone's having fun at the beach. Then they take a nap at the beach.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
There's like a time delay. Then they like wake up and they're like, there's a character who's still staring at it. They tell somebody and then they're like, yeah, that doesn't look right. And then they're like, no. Okay, let's move. And then everyone's running.
Yeah.
So I just feel like there are certain parts that are kind of unrealistic. There's certain parts that they talk about with the animals. They're like, oh, animals are warning us.
Well, that happened. That happened with the tsunami, the one that hit that island.
No, I get the natural disaster stuff, but I'm cause
saying of that same thing where people were just staring. They're like, oh, look at the water. It's so far in. And they were just standing there. And there's a lot of video of people just waiting until, and they're like, oh, wait, the water's coming. And they're like, They're just walking slowly, and then they start panicking when they realize it's coming in fast and it's going to sweep me away.
I know. And so when I saw this scene, that the first thing I thought of at the beach, because I never watched a trailer for this movie, Crystal just put it on.
Yeah.
So I know when they were going to the beach, and I knew it was a disaster movie based on the name.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought was like, it's got to be natural disasters, right? So I'm trying to, in my mind, just I'm thinking about what's going to happen next.
The name of it.
And so I'm starting to think like, okay, they're going to get hit by a tsunami, obviously. I'm waiting for the water to recede.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting, because I know.
Now.
I already know that. Yeah.
Now. But
well, I've known that forever.
When I saw it, like it was where the fuck was the tsunami? Was it like some islands, right? It was like
as soon as you see water receding,
I wouldn't think
fucking run.
But I've never been like. See, you grew up in California with the ocean.
So I was more aware of that stuff based on that.
Yeah.
Because like earthquakes will do that. They will cause giant fucking waves, and they will hit the shore. Now, in California, we would get slight flooding. Like when I lived in San Francisco, and there was a big earthquake that happened in Japan during the time. We were warned to stay away from the beaches because we were afraid of flooding. And then by the time it came up, it was only like a foot worth of water, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But in Japan, like they got fucked.
You guys were getting the trash from that tsunami. They were finding Japanese crates and like furniture.
Super fucking wet.
It was crazy. That went all the way across the ocean. But yeah, I see, not being next to the coast, that's always in your mind. Like since you were a little kid, you probably have talked about or seen them talking about the ocean.
Like as a kid, we talk about earthquakes, we talk about the ocean, we learn things like in Tennessee. Like, I don't know, did you know this? What are you supposed to do when you get like, do you know how to prep your house for a tornado or a hurricane?
No, I don't know how to prep
in college, I met this
sandbags.
girl who's from Tennessee, and we ended up talking about that because she was asking me about earthquakes. I was like, well, yeah, you want to get like some safe places are going to be under a table. You want to stay away from anything that could fall on you. So you don't want to be in a grocery store. If you really can't get like under a sturdy table or something to protect yourself, a doorway being inside of the door frame is one of the most sturdiest parts of your house because it's surrounded by multiple pieces of 2x4.
Doorway thing.
So when you talk about like tornadoes or hurricanes or something, you know, tornadoes, obviously we all know wizard balls and shit. You can go underground.
I think everybody knows that. Yeah.
But for hurricanes, a lot of people, you have to tape your windows. Did you know that? You put X's of tape across your windows or star configurations like asterisks to protect your windows from shattering. Yeah. And if they do shatter, the tape would hold glass pieces so they don't shatter on you.
Or if something goes through it, it'll just be a hole there.
In California, we were always told, like, you know, the first thing you want to do is, like, if there's an earthquake, fill up your tub with water. Because if the pipes break, your water's fucked. And you need to, if you're going to be stuck in your house, have some water.
That's crazy.
Also, they say always keep, like, in elementary school, we practice drills and shit like this. We had to bring in non-perishable food for ourselves.
Like
and
cans?
They would keep it in, like, this tub. In case we got an earthquake and we were stuck at school, we can feed ourselves.
So every year you guys brought in?
And then at the end of the year, they would give it back to us.
Where's my can of corn?
No, you would bring things that you can easily get, like things that would last. Peanut butter was a big one. Like, everyone would bring in a fucking jar of peanut butter.
Oh, so you'd just be eating peanut butter for a week or something?
Yeah. And then they would tell you, like, have shoes by your bed. So if you are an earthquake and it happens at night, you can put your shoes on real quick in case something fell and break, and you don't have to step on glass.
You don't have to. Fucking what's his name?
Yeah.
John McClane.
We had a pool table growing up.
You know John McClane, right? Die Hard.
Yeah.
Remember he had no shoes. He was walking on glass.
Fucked up feet.
As the John McClane rule.
Yeah. You know, like they say, like going out on the street isn't always the best idea either.
No, because if stuff's falling, light poles.
I mean, we get bad winds out here, and we have those green trees. You know, the ones that
The Paul Verdes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those things are fucking fragile as fuck.
Mesquites.
All up and down, roots ripped out of the ground just from the winds.
Yeah, mesquites. Mesquites are notorious for getting ripped out of the ground.
But I remember I was always told, and way before I even thought in any part of my mind that I would be living in Arizona, that Arizona is probably one of the few places in the United States where natural disasters are avoidable. There's no fault lines here. So we don't have to worry about earthquakes.
No.
I mean, we might feel shakes if it's really bad in California, but nothing enough to destroy our property.
No.
We don't have to worry about hurricanes. We don't have to worry about tornadoes. The worst thing we got are the haboobs, which is dust. So where we're going to die from is probably mainly just all the dust that we inhale.
Yeah, that would suck to be stuck in one.
Yes.
Outside.
Yeah, and that's why we have what most other people in the country will never know is valley fever.
Yes. Yeah, valley fever is a real thing.
And actually when, because my dog is epileptic, so he has seizures. So when we were looking into alternative like medication stuff, we were looking into neurologic veterinarians, like specialize in neurology for the pets.
Yeah.
And I was looking into reviews, and a lot of the people who would take their pets in for seizures would say that one of the things they would test the dogs for was valley fever.
Yeah.
Because valley fever would cause seizures in dogs. And all they would do is treat them, and then all of a sudden your dog no longer has a fucking seizure.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I was like, maybe fucking Poe's got valley seizure. No, he's epileptic. We gotta give him medicine every day now.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. Did I tell you that we switched his medicine?
No.
So for the longest time, we had him on phenobarbital.
Okay.
Which is a very old, I think it's one of the first available medications that they would give to people with epileptic seizures, back in the day. It's chaotic. A nurse friend had told us it's medieval. Shit. And it's
one way to describe medicine.
Yeah. It's I mean, just in the name, phenobarbital, So we had him on that. The vet told us he's going to take this medicine every day of his life, 2 times a day. Yeah. Once in the morning, once at night. He was on 2.5 milligrams of the medicine.
Yeah.
Or is it milliliters? 2.5 milliliters.
Okay.
No, 3.5. 3.5 milliliters in the morning, 3.5 at night. So for a total of 7 milliliters a day. This medication is a class 4 restricted drug.
Word.
So in order to get it, the vet has to write us a prescription physically. We have to pick it up physically, and then we have to take it to the CVS or the Walgreens to get it.
The cop has to accompany you.
No, but they don't carry it because it's not as often prescribed. Yeah. So they have to order it in, which will take time for us. And in his case, this medication causes him to be lethargic. He gained a lot of weight.
So wait, why is it so protected? What does it do? Is it turn into fucking crystal meth or something?
It's one of those, yeah.
So it's a what do they call it?
Phenobarb is. Let's see. Oh, is it raining outside? Is that what that noise is?
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that noise is rain. We've been getting rain all day today.
So it prevents and controls seizures by basically just making you sleepy.
That's fucking sucks, dude. I feel like
I know, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Effects. It's a good anti-epileptic effect, but clinically significant untoward effects occurred.
Where's the wow?
Hyperactivity, behavioral problems, sedation, even dementia is a long-term effect of this.
Fuck, man.
Which is why it's a restricted drug.
It's going to make you more fucked up eventually.
Yeah. It's really bad for you.
Yeah.
And so the vet had told us there is no other alternative that he can give this dog. And our dog is small, is 11 pounds.
He's a little guy.
He's tiny.
Yeah.
So they can't give you a pill. Like
Can't even
most
split
dogs
it?
will get a pill, and it's like they'll take just the one pill because it gives them time released capsules, right?
Yeah.
But he can't do that because we would need to cut it up, or else the pills, they don't come in that smaller dosage that he needs.
Yeah.
So we just hated the way, like, he wouldn't chase his ball, he wouldn't move, he would sit there, he would just be panting all the time. He wasn't Poe. He wasn't a happy dog.
Yeah. Sounds like a little zombie dog.
It's just worse. So we switched him to CBD because we heard that there were some studies that CBD helps and all this. So we were giving him CBD. And for about 3.5 weeks, I would say, no seizures. Everything was fine.
Said everything
and he was
good.
having a seizure every week before the medication. And so CBD, he was good for about 3.5 weeks to a month. And then he had a seizure. So we upped the dosage, and he was good again for another like 3 weeks. And then there was a seizure. Then 2 weeks, and then there was a seizure. And then he was on a seizure once a week again. And so we went to a different vet to get a second opinion on medication. And this vet had introduced us to, I think he called it Keppra. I forget the medication name, something with an L.
Yeah.
But this is a 3rd generation anti-epileptic.
Yeah.
And on this, there's no side effects.
That's good.
One of the issues we had was that the vet previously can only prescribe us this medication once a month. And no other vet in the clinic can prescribe us this medication since we saw this one specific doctor.
What?
So we had to go to the vet, which was a 20-minute drive for us, once a month. And we had to call ahead to get the prescription. And we had to call when the doctor was in. And he was only in 3 days a week. Then they would write us a prescription.
What happens if this guy passes away? Is there a backup?
We'd have to see a different doctor at that clinic.
Oh my God.
And,
is this the only one in Arizona?
And he told us there's nothing. Well, no, there's other vets. We go to a different clinic, and that's what we ended up doing. We went to one locally here.
Okay.
Very good, decent vet. And he explained to us what he could do. The other vet didn't want to do anything else. Said this is what he needs to do. This is the only medication for him. This is what he's going to stay on. We brought up the concerns, and he was on it for 4 months. 4 months we went through this, and no seizures. Yeah. But the fucking dog went from 11 pounds to 14.
He's gaining weight.
He gained weight. He wouldn't run. He hated walks. Like we tried to take him on a walk, he would just start sitting immediately.
He was probably tired.
He was tired, and he was overeating. He was always hungry. He was never chasing his ball. He just wasn't him.
Yeah.
New vet. We finally went in for that second. We were just scared that no other vet would help us.
Yeah.
But this guy, he said, look, this is the medication. I've had good response with the dogs. If it doesn't work, there's a couple of options we can do. We can do half of the pheno and half of this medication and try to find a balance. But what I would really like to do, since you guys have already tried the pheno, is if this medication does not work, I will recommend you to a neurologist.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they would be able to help you even more.
Yeah.
But I've had good response with this, so we're gonna try him on it. And so far so good. He has been
many weeks?
Great. It's only been, we've had the 3 weeks into it.
That's usually the point, right?
And he hasn't had a seizure.
Okay. Oops, excuse me.
And his life has not been altered.
That's good. That's good news.
He's still fun, happy-go-lucky little puppy dog.
And how old is he now?
3 years.
3 years.
But he looks like a perpetual puppy. I
He's
will put
never
a picture
gonna grow
up
up
for people to see.
Yeah.
But, I mean, looking at him, he looks like a fucking puppy.
He's going to be 10 years old and look like a puppy.
And look like a fucking puppy.
Yeah.
He's the fucking picturesque, perfect dog. Did I tell you about when we got this dog?
You had to drive to Las Vegas or whatever.
Yeah, but did I tell you when Crystal sent me a picture of this dog?
No, what?
The picture of this dog looked fake.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like a fucking
doll.
Yeah. Like, it looked like the dog was not real. Like, I was like, that's not a real dog. I was like, before we, yeah. And because she found him on Craigslist in Las Vegas, it just felt even sketchy
More
for me.
Scammy.
And I was like, if you really want this one, we'll go see him and we'll put a deposit on them. Ask them if we can do that because they can hold it for us.
Yeah.
Because other people were wanting this dog and they were going to give it to us first because we contacted them first.
Yeah.
So we sent them $100. But before we did that, I said, can you have them take a picture of the dog next to a cup?
It's a something. Yeah.
Yes. In 2 different positions with the same cup. So I know this is a legitimate, real dog.
Yeah.
And they did. And I was like, that is a fake looking dog next to a cup.
So they got their stuffed animal and took 2 pictures.
Oh my God, dude. When we got Poe,
Still didn't feel real.
Fucking small.
Yeah.
This dog is so tiny, he fit in my hand. I remember holding him.
Yeah.
And it was cold, you know. I think we got him in like February of 2021.
Okay.
And in Vegas, and so he was
crazy time.
Cold, yeah.
2021.
I remember holding him in my jacket, my leather jacket, and he was so tiny. He was so precious and little. We brought him home, and the first thing he did was fucking bully Obi. You know, my other bigger dog.
Yeah.
He would bully him. He was loud. He was aggressive. He had fucking like Hitler syndrome. He thought he was a bigger dog than he was. He was still all the other dogs' toys.
Napoleon?
Or Napoleon, yeah.
You said
Hitler. He's a little Hitler. I call him Hitler all the time.
Oh,
Crystal
okay.
don't like it. But I'm like, he's just rude.
That's funny because I always seen him. He's always I call him a snake, dude, because I've never seen a dog go. Like, he'll do that to the air.
Yeah.
Next to you.
He tries to lick you, but he doesn't get close enough.
Yeah, he wants to lick you, but he knows he's not supposed to, but he really wants to. So he's just like.
And licking, I guess, is like, you know, I've looked into it. I was like, why does my dog lick me so much? And I guess it's like...
that's how they interact with the world.
Yeah, it's not only how they interact with the world, but specifically to like other people or their dogs. If they lick them, it's kind of like a sign of affection and respect. Like, I like you.
Yeah, and I get that. That's how
I'm okay with it.
That's how they see the world. But he's just different in the way he uses his tongue.
He's a fucking weird dog.
Yeah, he's like... Like, that's the snake action. That's what a snake does. They're tasting the air. I feel like he's tasting the air. I think he is. But
he might be part snake. Do you want to take this shot?
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Christmas time. But yeah, he's the only dog I've ever seen lick the air.
I do feel like it's very complex whiskey.
It is. It, like it said, layers, dude. It tastes layers.
Definitely layers.
Yeah,
it's good.
And you can tell it's aged. Mm-hmm. You can tell it's good, and it is like a whiskey that you bring out for special occasions.
Yes,
it's not an everydayer,
right?
And I don't think it's good for mixing either. I think it should be on its own. And you know what? This tastes like a whiskey that you would have in a glass with some ice. Let the ice melt a little bit. Because they say, you've heard that with whiskey, right? That you put some people will actually put a little bit of water in their whiskey. And it intensifies some of the flavors and dilutes some of the other. Mm-hmm. The water. And that's what you do. Essentially, that's what you do with the ice cubes. You want it to melt a little bit in your whiskey and then drink it, because then you're drinking a kind of watered down whiskey and it gives it a good flavor. I feel like this would be really good with that too. And
a Scotch whiskey most definitely is supposed to be, I think, drunk like that for sure.
Yeah, that's a gentleman's.
You just want to put it over ice, be a little fancy with it.
We got to put this in a canter.
I do want to try it in eggnog though. I think it would be good in eggnog.
Yeah, why not? I mean, eggnog is really rich and sweet usually. So
maybe throw it in my coffee with some eggnog. I've been actually making my coffee with eggnog. Have you tried that?
No.
Dude, eggnog coffee. Oh my God.
Well, eggnog is so thick. It would probably be good.
Instead of adding milk or creamer.
But I'm not a coffee drinker.
Oh, yeah, you don't drink coffee.
That's right. Coffee.
That's right, man. It's cool.
I don't know.
You should try some of this mushroom coffee.
I can drink coffee.
I'm going to give you a couple tablespoons of this mushroom coffee. You try it out. I think you'd like it.
I can drink coffee. I get it. It's just bitter to me, and I feel like I'm gonna be an old man that drinks coffee every day, because as soon as my senses start to dull a little bit, I'm gonna enjoy coffee more. But for me, it's just so intense. Like coffee, coffee.
I hate coffee too, because it usually coffee gives me too much anxiety. Like I get way too
amped up with the caffeine.
Yes, I get very what do they call
Jittery.
it? Jittery. Jitters. Coffee gives me a jitter, but my mushroom coffee from Everyday Dose, they definitely don't give me the jitters.
Shout out to Everyday Dose.
Shout out Everyday Dose.
I seen their bag. I almost bought it, but the only thing that stopped me was coffee.
It definitely has less caffeine. And the other factors about Everyday Dose is the mushrooms.
Well, you just drink it in hot water, right? You just mix it.
So what I usually do, now that it's winter, I my Keurig has 3 settings, so I do the medium one, which I think is 16 ounces of hot water, or maybe it's 12. Because the normal one is what, 8 ounces?
It is 8, 12, 16.
Yeah, so it's 12 ounces of the hot water is what I put in it. They say 8 ounces per teaspoon, or per tablespoon.
Okay.
So I do 2 tablespoons, and I do
12 ounces.
12 ounces.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And then what I have are just sugar-free syrups, just to add a little flavor.
Yeah.
And normally I'll just add almond milk. So I'll do a little bit of almond milk, sugar-free syrup, 1 pump. But right now I'm doing eggnog and Jesus, eggnog.
Yeah.
Almond milk-based eggnog, so it's non-dairy eggnog, because I stay away from dairy.
Really?
Yeah, because dairy will give me the shits. I'm not even gonna fucking sugarcoat it.
Doesn't caffeine already do that?
Normal coffee does.
Yeah.
This one does not. It's better on my gut.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And this has collagen and mushrooms and nootropics.
The mushroom effect is what I would want too.
Yes.
Because I'm trying to get away from energy drinks. I don't want to drink them anymore. They put too much shit in them. I don't like any of them. I tried them all. I'm doing sugar-free
Those
ones.
also give me way too much fucking jitters and shit.
They don't to me. I don't get the jittery. I'm pretty tolerant to any of that shit, so I've never felt jittery on anything really, even coffee. But I did go through a period where I was drinking coffee at work because a lady talked me into it, and I was like, all right, fine, I'll join your coffee group or whatever. And I was doing just butter coffee, where you just put a coffee and butter and MCT oil.
What do they call that? They call that there's a specific thing for that type of bulletproof. They call it bulletproof coffee.
Okay, that's what I was doing. So I was doing
a keto thing.
Yeah, I was doing the butter, the MCT oil, and coffee. That's it.
Yeah,
and I would mix it and I would drink it.
And that's still not bad to do. I'm thinking about adding MCT oil to mine as well.
It's supposed to activate your fucking metabolism, right?
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, it's way better for you.
Yeah, so I was doing that for a while, and that was good because I was cutting down sugar and all that shit that I'm getting from other drinks. But so I want to go back to it because of that reason, because I want to get away from energy drinks. But yeah, I just couldn't. I don't know, the coffee. Fucking, I hate coffee. I
don't know, man. I'm not a big fan of coffee either, but I feel like it really has to do with how you make it. And one of the reasons that coffee gives you fucking worse gut is just the way that we do it in America. Because it's so mass produced and shit. Yeah, we don't get the freshest of beans and stuff. Your coffee sits in a fucking warehouse for a while before it actually gets into your cup.
And then, just a small fact, there is an allowable percentage of bug in your coffee. Mm-hmm. If it's pre-ground coffee, their percentage is not 0. So they are allowed to have a certain percentage of bug in each amount of whatever the set amount is of coffee. So,
and they do the same thing with sugar. It's an FDA thing. If there's a certain amount, they're allowed to call it 0.
Yeah.
So if it's less than 1, it's allowed to be called nothing.
Yeah.
When it comes to like
which
sugar.
is crazy.
And so you'll
it's
see
with potato chips, it's with everything that they mass produce.
because I remember that on keto, like
You're gonna get
biggest
some
thing
protein.
for me, I never had to look at labels until I was keto, and then I started reading labels. And when you start reading into these labels, you start finding a lot of shit.
You're
like a
what the
lot
fuck?
of keto. When I did it with Crystal, was teaching her how to read these labels. She would look at me, she'd be like, "Is this keto?" I was like, "Oh, most definitely not. Look at this, this, and this."
Yeah.
She's like, "Well." And
they
we
do
had
it
to-
on purpose. It's deceptive fucking practices, but it's effective because you don't know what you're reading. You don't know what you're looking at. It's a whole nother language you have to
like
learn.
Mexico's got a good standing on it. Like they're forced to like put labels on top of the front of the product that says excessive amount of sodium, excessive amount of sugar, and in like big giant circle or they're like hexagon things. Have you never seen these?
Yeah, they have stricter regulations. Like they don't make their Coca-Cola with high fructose corn syrup. I think it's banned.
Yeah.
They have to use real sugar.
Which is why that fucking shit tastes way better.
That's why people love Mexican Cokes.
Yeah.
It has a different taste. And somebody made a video, I forgot where I was watching it, but they were comparing the ingredients of just everyday products from America to Europe. And they were showing ketchup. Ketchup has a fucking ridiculous amount. And then it's like 5 ingredients in Europe. And then they were doing that with a bunch of products.
One fucking thing about Europe, though, is the European Union. The amount of pressure that they can put on, like a lot of things that Apple has to do is because of the fucking European Union.
Yeah.
Like that's the only reason Apple will say for years, like we have innovated the idea of keeping one cable for all our products by creating USB-C and everything. And that's why we're switching iPhones to USB-C. The real fucking reason is that European Union said, look, this is the standard plug. You cannot sell a product here without this plug.
So they have to switch.
They had to.
Yeah.
They were forced to.
Yeah.
Either they forced to switch their entire product line or they had to create a specific European version.
But they did it with ketchup. They did it with ranch. They did it with all these products that we use every day. And it's just bonkers, all the shit that they're putting in our food compared to other countries. And it's like, why do we have all this extra stuff?
I'll tell you why. Capitalism. And the ability for one of the issues with our political system is lobbyists. The ability for companies to give money to politicians so that politicians can then adjust the way that they handle their job to benefit the companies.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
jacked
the
up,
most
man.
fucking bonkers ass shit ever.
Well,
the whole idea of for the people by the people is totally not a thing anymore. It's by the companies
for the
companies.
And fuck you, people.
And there's certain states where it's like look at California.
They fight. There's so many California class action lawsuits that come out of California.
Yeah. Like the fact that like you have
Skittles.
Look at this. If you go anywhere in California, you walk into an establishment, you look at a label. There's these warnings that you don't see around here as often, and it says this product is known by the state of California
to cause cancer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so you're being told that immediately. I moved here and I'm like, you don't see that as often. You see it occasionally for the things that kind of like, oh, well, it's kind of shared between us, you know?
You see the California label, but nothing for Arizona.
No.
But yeah, the state of California recognizes this has chemicals that have been considered in the state of California to be cancerous. It's like this whole
There's other fucking things that
but it's like only California decided this? Like
California tries to implement their own fucking things about it. Like look at what is it? Red dye number 6, is it? Or 9? Or something like that?
Yeah,
that
the red
product?
dye.
Yeah.
They're trying to eliminate it.
California is passing a bill to eliminate it, which is going to affect, candies, other sugary products and drinks.
And Cheetos. I think Cheetos
they all use that type of thing.
Kool-Aid, I think.
And you're going to start to, once California passes their bill to
what
get
are they gonna
that
do?
passed, they're going to start switching out and they're going to be like, oh, new and improved with healthier benefits for you.
But meanwhile, they had to change it because of California. Because they're not going to sell different Skittles in California than they are
because it's not profitable for them.
In Arizona. It doesn't make any sense.
So they're going to switch the narrative to make it seem like this was their decision.
The healthier option.
Same fucking thing that Apple did when they said, we now have an iPhone that can utilize one cable for your Mac, your iPhone, your AirPods Pro, and your iPad.
Well, it went viral a couple of weeks ago, maybe more than that, where there was people showing the new signage that they had on McDonald's for the state of California, because in the state of California they ruled that all the restaurants like McDonald's that have any chemicals that are being used inside of the store, it now has to have a sign that says there's chemicals contained in the food that cause cancer.
Yes.
And it's only in the state of California, and they have to put that right on the front door, and they put it on the back door for the employees because they're working with the food.
And I think California, I don't know if other states are doing. I can't recall if I've seen it here in Arizona. But do you see calories on the menu? We don't, right?
No, I don't think so.
So in California, about a decade or two ago, you were forced to put calories. Like you go to McDonald's, you look at the menu, they have to tell you how many calories are in each product on the menu. So you see the number one, the fucking Big Mac, tells you how many calories are per individual sandwich and for the entire meal.
I'll say maybe a sit down like an Olive Garden or Oregano's or like Red Lobster. Some of them will be like, this is like low calorie options, and they'll put it on there.
No. I'm saying like you look at that same menu.
That's what I'm saying. This is the only.
They have to say this is going to be 1,200 calories if you order this entire meal. I
think I've seen it on main course and stuff like that, but it's not like a widespread. The iced tea is this many calories. The garden salad is this many. I don't think it was on everything. I think it's on like the low or the keto or low carb diets when they put that on there.
Because they want to sell it to you. Yeah, so at that point, it's worth it.
That's why. But in
California, you have to label it all.
And that's just common sense, right? Shouldn't that just be common sense?
Because you should be informed.
You should know.
Yes. And then there's other things, like we look at labor laws. Like here, an employer can fire you without cause because it's a right to work state. Yeah. And they did that so that companies wouldn't have to worry about
lawsuits.
Unions.
They
made it so that unions in Arizona are either hard or impossible to create. Because companies do not benefit from unions.
Yeah. Oh, it makes it more fair. Why would they want that?
But in California, it's the reverse. So in Arizona, the laws for labor are set around the corporation. They are to benefit the company.
Yeah.
In California, the laws are set to benefit the employee.
That's what it feels like.
You need to correct, like there's too many lawsuits for being fired for any type of reason. You can create a lawsuit if this company did not document every fucking thing that you did to get yourself fired. As far as like being late, like, or anything else, like they have to scrutinize it. And there's got to be a paper trail. In Arizona, it's a right to work state, which sounds great. Like, oh yeah, I have the right to work. No, it's not great because your company could just one day be like, you know what? We don't like you because you have a dog. But we're going to fire you. And we don't really have to tell you why.
Dude,
there's nothing you can do about it.
Did you hear about that story of that lady that she donated her kidney to her boss?
Yes, I actually did hear about this recently.
And then she got fired.
Because she had to take time off to recover.
She said she was taking too long to recover from the kidney that she gave to her boss.
So her boss fired her. What the fuck?
Dude, I don't think you should ever.
Because her boss needed a kidney and he asked the employees if anybody would be willing to donate a fucking kidney, and she stepped up. And you would think, you saved my fucking life.
you're good
Let's
for life.
give you a fucking bonus or some shit, you
Or
know?
your job is safe forever.
Yes. Like,
No.
I appreciate you. Of course, take the
No,
time you need to heal.
He took the opposite road.
No.
He went like this.
Fuck you. Bullshit.
There he goes. There's the thumbs up.
Man, I don't know. Even Crystal was saying, like,
That happened to George Lopez too.
she's concerned, you know, that if she has a complication in pregnancy,
Yeah.
there's nothing she could do about it in this state. This state would rather her go full term with carrying a dead fetus.
Did they change there's no abortions here? I don't even know what the fucking laws are here.
It has to do with the Supreme Court ruling that they overturned during the Trump administration.
So Arizona became a state that doesn't allow it anymore or whatever. Because they did have that right before.
They did because of the Supreme Court ruling.
So now what? There's no more Planned Parenthood or whatever? I don't know what happened with them.
I don't know if they still have them or not. But the law is that basically... Like in Texas, or where is it else? Is it Tennessee?
California.
Well, California, you
have
can,
the right
you can
still.
get abortion.
Yeah.
You can get, you know, emergency contraception and stuff like that, whatever you need. In Arizona, if it comes to saving the mother or the child during childbirth, they are required by law to prioritize the child.
Interesting.
Even if they know that there's no way the child will live, but there's a better chance to save the mother.
Well,
they have to continue through full birth.
That starts to sound crazy if they already know the child is not going to make it.
I know, right?
Yeah, that part is the part that, but it's tough, man. What do you like?
It's fucking ridiculously hilarious.
I'm saying, like, as far as age-old question, you know, like, do I save the child or the mother? You know, it almost feels like...
You would think, right? Like, yeah, if it's that complex, but the way the laws are written, the child has a right all the way up to birth, even if the doctors medically can say, without a doubt, this child will not make it to birth.
Well, that's the crazy part. But I'm just saying, like, if it was a situation where it was like 50-50, like, what do you do? Like, that's an age-old...
It's hard, yeah.
That's an age-old question.
Fucking thing.
The mother might even be like, save the child. I want you to save the... You know, like, so I don't know.
If it's possible... And that's their decision. Like, I wouldn't know what to do in that situation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's a crazy...
I can't comment on that at all. But the fact that, like...
But hold on. She cannot worry about the craziest scenario. Like
yeah, of course.
That's
I
like...
get it. I get it. But she's fearful that...
I know. When it's your first one and you've never had one, yes. I could see that.
And for her, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Me and my wife are both slightly overweight. Most Americans are.
Yeah.
Maybe even more than slightly. So there's more complications in pregnancy and birth when you're overweight.
That does add an element. Your age adds an element. There's so many factors in it. But, you know, if you're an average healthy adult, I think you'll be okay, like, for the most part.
Yes.
As long as you don't have any, like, medical conditions, you're not on everyday medications, I think you'll be okay.
But the fear of, like, your life doesn't matter anymore because you're carrying something.
That's crazy. And I don't know. I've never seen, like...
That's a fucking hard topic, bro. It's very controversial.
Well, I'm saying it's not one that comes up very often. And
No.
I don't even know how many times they've encountered this scenario happen here in Arizona, like, since everything's changed. It's got to be few and far that it's ever happened where they had to make a ruling, but I don't even know what they did. Because, I mean, they can make judgments in the moment. And, you know, I think, I hope, this is my hope, that rational, doctors, educated doctors would choose the right decision. Hopefully,
you would think, but they are obligated by the law to.
I know. They do have to follow the law.
They could lose their fucking license.
Doctors are humans too, and I think if they can figure out a way to make everything right, I hope that they would do that.
You would think, yes.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is
because for the most part, I know people are very cynical thinking and the world's evil. At the
end of the day, if you were a doctor. And it was between your license and your ability to work in the field that you went to school for.
I think some of them would save a life.
Yeah, you would think. You would hope.
I think they would make the right decision. And then,
but also the mindset of the majority of them is we can't do shit. And there's
it's crazy. It's crazy
because
scenarios.
When you look at it, the hospital is a corporation as well. The majority of the hospital is a corporation. So you're going to have a person who's a doctor and is we need to terminate this pregnancy.
Yeah.
And the head of the fucking hospital is going to tell you,
we can't do that. Yeah.
You cannot do that. And if you go around me, I'm going to fire you. Well, and I'm going to place somebody else on that case who will listen to what I tell them.
Well, hopefully they would make the right decision that needed to be made. And if
hospitals actually looked at people as people and not people as
you would hope there'll be some compassion there. But
numbers.
Hopefully, if you have this situation happen, hopefully you can still make it to California and then just get the right care.
But think about these states that are in the similar situation where their option is not a neighboring state. Their option is 4 or 5 states away.
Yeah, it's difficult, man.
And you have to make this decision within hours.
Yeah.
What do? You can't do much.
These are impossible scenarios. And if you're in that far in a pregnancy,
getting a fucking car trip and taking a 10-hour drive, 14, 15-hour drive somewhere is not an option for you.
No,
it's fucked up.
If you're dealing with just moments and hours and who knows, what you can do. But
and then, one of the things I feel is medicine should not be corporate.
You wouldn't like it to be run that way. You would like it to be more a mom and pop family. That would be your best case.
I don't even feel like mom and pop family. I feel like medicine should be a human right. And as a human right, that should be governed through the government.
Well, that's a whole nother conversation.
It's a whole other fucking thing. In Canada,
because the way that we have
doctors are fucking government employees.
So we send our money to the government, our taxes, and then they use those taxes to pay the insurance company, and then the insurance company bills us, and then also gets paid from us.
That's not even how it works.
They get paid twice.
No, and no. So right now, in the way that our government works, that our medical system works, is that you have a hospital or a medical facility or a doctor who is their own independent corporation or independent business. And as an independent business, they make their own pricing, which is why they want you to go through insurance. Because if they go through insurance, your insurance can pay a certain amount to whatever they declare is a right amount for them. The medical facility will then say, okay, we will adjust our amount that we're going to charge you, which is usually 10 times or twice as much as what the insurance is allowing us to charge you. And we will reduce the amount we're going to bill you to meet your insurance goals. Or we reduce it to a certain percentage where your insurance is going to cover 75% of it, and then you have to cover the next 25% of it. If the government was in charge of our medical, they could set specific limits saying, look, if you want to get your appendix removed, this is the cost. You can't go more than that. If you try to charge someone more than that, that's illegal.
Well, yeah. The government doesn't make the pricing, but I was just talking about how hospitals get their money. They're going through this third party company instead of just paying for the medical.
That depends if
hospitals.
The hospital is run as a non-profit or as a for-profit hospital. Because there's two differences for that. And even then, it gets even sketchier with the way that they monetize and bill you. To have a fucking child and to pay for being, medication, ambulance rides, stay in the hospital. When Crystal had her appendix out, without insurance, that whole fucking thing cost us upwards of $20,000.
Oh yeah, the prices are crazy.
That's
if you don't
fucking
have
ridiculous.
if you don't have insurance. Yeah,
and I understand doctors need to be paid and the facilities need to be run, but like, there's that difference between like my appendix is bursting and I have no other fucking option. What do you do in that moment of an emergency?
I will say, because I've heard
you can't get to shop around like, oh yeah, well my burger's cheaper at McDonald's than if I went to Red Robin.
Yeah, you don't get to shop around with your medical shit.
Should I go to Target or Walmart?
I mean, unless you know which one charges you more than others.
When you need to go to a fucking hospital, you go, and you have to just deal with it.
But I'll say that I've heard from Canadians that talk about their healthcare system, and it is free, but it's also not as good. Like, you get what you pay for, you know, like that kind of thing. Like, you might need a medical surgery that needs to be done, and you'll wait 5 months to do it. Like, it's free, so there's no rush. Like, whereas you have a broken arm, you're gonna get surgery right away. It's gonna get done. Like, you might have to put off surgeries and stuff like that with their system because of the way that they schedule and all the patients and
the bit in priority and shit.
Yeah.
No, exactly. I totally understand that.
And you're not getting the best doctors in the world. So sometimes there's been people that have like medical situations they need done and they need certain procedures. They'll come here because we have better doctors.
I mean, I get certain type of things. And yes, if you go to a private organization that has specific doctors and they specialize
because they're so
things,
well paid,
yes,
they are better.
But I mean, look at others. I'm not talking about like specifics. I'm talking about like things like general stuff. Like look at like LASIK, for example, or hip replacement. Okay. You could literally, if you need a hip replacement, you can go to Spain. You can rent a house in Spain. Get the benefit of fucking learning Spanish by immersion. Get your hip replaced. Spend the 6-month recovery you need or whatever time it is to get a hip replacement recovery while renting the place in Spain. Then you have the opportunity to fucking run with the bulls, break your hip again, get another fucking hip replacement, and then rent another long-term place and still come out less than the cost of one hip replacement in the US. And this is not uncommon for people to have what's called medical vacations or procedure vacations. Like you can go to South Korea and get LASIK done.
Oh, they have the best.
Cheaper.
They
travel,
have the best over there.
Travel, hotel, food. You get to spend time in fucking Korea, have a whole fucking vacation of it, and you're still paying thousands of dollars less than it would be to have LASIK done here in the US.
Yeah, that I've never looked into LASIK because I don't think I'd ever. I don't know. I've heard weird things about like it doesn't last forever.
No. There's definitely degradation. So you can only have it done a certain amount of time. But for the benefit of it, it's still like, I mean, glasses, contacts, LASIK. You're definitely paying for something that's not a necessity. But then we can get into the whole fucking thing about glasses. Who makes your glasses? Mine, I've got American Exchange. Armani Exchange, sorry. Who's your glasses?
I don't even know what the frames are.
You see this design of frames?
Oh, it's only like one company. They make them all.
It's like one fucking company.
Yeah, they make Ray-Ban,
by the time that another
everybody.
Small company comes up, they're just bought out again.
Yeah.
And they will set the fucking prices all the fucking same or higher depending on what you get. It's fucking ridiculous. And glasses are a fucking necessity.
Some things should be
not covered.
Yeah, some things should be definitely covered like that. Like we shouldn't be paying out of the asshole for them. But that's why there's so many medical places on the borders. I mean, you don't even have to go to Spain. You can go to Mexico. Every border town with the United States has some kind of medical facilities for prescriptions, for procedures that need to be done, for dentists. Because our dentists are very expensive. You can go down there and get a set of dentures for super...
And all of this can be changed in the government. But you know the main reason why there has not been an efficient, great, outside of like Obamacare, good medical coverage.
It's tough. It's tough for them to
Lobbyists,
get it
bro.
done.
It all comes back to that. It doesn't profit anybody.
Ooh, yeah.
If the government steps in.
It's crazy, man.
That's some fucked up shit. I don't know. I hate talking about politics, but
there's pros and cons. That's what I would say. At the end of the day, you know, our system's not perfect, but we do got pretty good shit, you know. So it's like there's fucked up shit and then there's good shit, you know. Like, you know, there's pros and cons to every scenario, every situation, every country. You know, they might be really good at healthcare, but they might suck at other shit, you know. So
yeah, I mean,
But I think at the end of the day,
fucking world, man.
It is all complicated. And I think at the end of the day, you just gotta try to be the most informed you can be about every situation. At
the end of the day, it really just comes down to one fucking thing:
Christmas,
money.
I'm just kidding.
Money. It always fucking comes down to money.
It's the golden rule, man. Whoever has the gold makes the rules.
It's so fucked up.
But
fuck, dude. This is trying to hurt.
It's a system that's not perfect, but I think at the end of the day, we do get to have a pretty cool life. You know, like I try to look at the bright side of things, you know, as much as I can be Mr. Brightside. I try to be Mr. Brightside.
I would like to, but I feel like
the world is knocking you down, man. Don't let it beat you down, man. It hurts. It all hurts. Enjoy the good. That's good. You know, we got UFCs we can watch anytime. You can pick up that bottle and you can buy more if you want to buy more. You know, like you got some good. Look at you just pouring it right into your can, man. You're turning into a real go-getter.
I've been limiting my smoking.
I know. You told me about that, man.
Smoking just on weekends now.
I might have to increase my smoking because you're decreasing.
Smoke for me, man. It's only been a week.
How do you feel?
I feel okay. No, I don't feel like there's any like negativity from it, but
I think it's good to take tolerance breaks.
I'm excited to feel what it feels like to get that high again. Like just be like, because
dude, let's do it right now, man.
I haven't done a shit ton of different drugs, right? I've tried shrooms, did not have a good experience with that. The only thing I've ever had a decent experience with where I feel like it doesn't just affect me crazily is weed. Weed has just been good.
It's beautiful.
Like I smoke it or I fucking eat it. I vape it.
Drink it.
Whatever the fucking way is.
It's good.
I can just feel decent. And when it wears off, I feel fine. Liquor, alcohol, you know, you feel okay. Like, I feel good. You're on cloud nine, whatever the fuck it is. But then the fucking after hurt of it all. And I'm not saying weed is entirely great in every aspect. There's no downfalls or side effects. Like there definitely is. And whether that be like the inhalation of smoke in your lungs or just the anxiety or the different chemicals it does to your brain or whatever the fuck, I don't know. I'm not a fucking chemist. But I do feel if I'm going to throw some form of poison into my body, weed has definitely been just the nicest. And I don't feel addicted to it. It's not like I'm over here like weaning for fucking weed, like looking at you like, oh my God, can I just sip on that fucking shit? No, it doesn't matter to me. I could probably go longer than a month or something, but like I just feel like life is so fucking hard sometimes that the outlet of marijuana is just, it's just nice.
It's worth it, man.
It's worth it.
What Be happy. Enjoy your life.
Oh shit, bro. Christmas special lasted nearly 2 hours. We're 1:56. I need to take a piss. I think we should
enjoy your
something.
time on Earth. Get all you can out of life. Be happy. Enjoy your time.
Yes.
Smoke, drink, whatever the fuck you want to do. Because we ain't going to be here forever.
I mean, if you definitely have the money to live life like that every day, go for it. If not, enjoy your fucking weekends, you weekend warriors.
Even if you don't have the money, spend it anyways.
Spend it anyways. You open that credit card. America be sending them to you.
Yeah. We are
live in. Oh shit, bro! You had a whole battery connected to that shit. Damn, should put some batteries in there. I have some. Oh yeah, that's what I need too. Give me that. That's mine.
I think I'm gonna take it back now.
Well, anyway, you know what? This has been just the weirdest fucking, I think, episode of Digital Cortex.
It's the end of the year.
It's special. It's special. We won't be back until next year, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think
we might be doing one before that. I don't know. It really depends.
Oh yeah, maybe.
We'll
see.
We don't know. But regardless, as always, this has been Thickwick. That has been Randomstylez. We're co-hosting Digital Cortex. This is your space to come and just fucking, I don't know, fucking complain about shit with us. Enjoy shit with us.
That's right.
Drink with us. Get high with us.
2023 is over. 2024 is here.
Let's go 2024.
It's going to be the year, man.
I love those even numbers.
It's going to be our year, man.
Oh, Jesus.
We're turning digital, man.
We're turning digital. Get some. All right. Digital Cortex. We are out.
Later. Freeze frame. Hoo-ha.